Welcome back everybody to Heather's East Kitchen. On today's video, we are going to be making chicken fajitas. So stay tuned guys, these are going to be really delicious. It's a very easy recipe and I'm sure you guys are going to love it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you guys won't miss any uploads. And it really does help us creators when you let the YouTube algorithm know that you like our videos. So the first thing we're doing here guys is we're going to get the chicken rinsed off. We're going to be using some onions and some peppers. And you know I got my staple seasoning, Morton's, and I'm going to be using some Cajun McCormick seasoning. Alright, so now that we got the chicken rinsed off and soaked in some vinegar water real quick, we're going to go ahead and pat it dry. And then we're going to go ahead and get the seasoning of our chicken breast. Alright guys, so now that the chicken breast is ready and all patted dry, we're going to go ahead and start slicing these up into pieces. And as you can see guys, I'm chopping them long ways, but I'm also going to chop it down one more time to make them shorter. You can keep yours long or make them short or whatever size you want for your fajitas guys. So there's no wrong or right way to do it. Just make sure you chop them up. Alright guys, so now that everything's chopped up, we're going to go ahead and get into the seasoning part of the chicken strips. Now I'm using my Cajun seasoning and my Morton's, but guys, please feel free to use any seasoning that resonates with you, whatever your family likes. But this is just what I wanted to use tonight because I wanted a little kick to my fajita. Alright, so once you get your seasoning on there, you want to go ahead and mix it up a little bit like I'm doing here now with your hands, because you want that seasoning to get on every piece of chicken, guys. Alright, and as you can see, I'm adding a little bit more seasoning as I'm mixing it, guys, because I do want to make sure my chicken strips are well seasoned. Alright guys, now everything's all seasoned up. My last touch here, I'm going to put some olive oil in there and just mix it a little bit more, and then I'm going to let this marinate for about an hour in my refrigerator just so it can sit on there and marinate into the chicken pieces. Alright guys, so now that I'm done seasoning everything, I'm going to go ahead and set this in the refrigerator with some foil on it. And we're just going to get into the prepping of the vegetables for the next step. Alright guys, so these are the vegetables we're going to be using for our chicken fajitas. We got some onions, some red peppers, yellow peppers, and orange peppers. I didn't have any green peppers because if I did, I would have been using that as well. But I'm just letting you know the things that you can use for your chicken fajitas. So be creative guys. The more the color, the better for me. Alright, got this onion chop, guys. You know them little green things you see there in the middle of the onions? That means my onions was getting a little too ripe, but I'm going to still use them. I'm just going to take those off because those can tend to make the dish a little bitter with those little green pieces. So I'm taking mine off. The rest of the onion's still good to use, so I'm just improvising here, guys. Alright guys, everything's chopped. I just did it off camera. I didn't want to bore you guys with the process of cutting up all the vegetables. So now we got our vegetables cut up. We got our chicken seasoned and it's ready. It's done marinating. So now we're going to go ahead and get it cooked. All right, so for the process of cooking this dish, we're using 2 separate pans. I got 2 non-stick pans. I'm going to be using one for the vegetables and I'm going to be using one for the chicken. So I'm going to get the vegetables started and I'm going to put a little olive oil in the pan and let that heat up first. So once you let your grease heat up just a little bit, guys, go ahead and drop your vegetables in there. We have the flame on medium to low heat because I'm going to let these simmer as I'm cooking the chicken. So they'll be simmering for about the next 10 minutes. All right, guys, so now that we got the veggies on, we're going to go ahead and get the chicken cooked. I'm not going to put them in all at once, guys. I'm going to be cooking this chicken in batches of 2. So that way there won't be too much juice in my pan as I'm cooking these. And for the cooking of these chicken strips, guys, I have the flame on medium to high heat because this is a non-stick pan and I do want them to cook pretty quickly because we're also going to put everything together and let that simmer a little bit too before they're done. So now that we have our chicken on, we're going to go ahead and check in on our veggies here. I'm just going to give it a little stir, mix everything around so my bottom veggies won't overcook and everything can cook evenly. All right, now checking in back on the chicken. It's looking pretty good. It's cooking really good. So I'm really pleased how things are turning out. Make sure you give it a little stir in between the cook time so those won't overcook as well. All right, guys, so after about 6 minutes or so, these are done. I'm going to go ahead and take these ones out and I'm going to start the next batch of chicken strips. All right, guys, so now these vegetables are looking real good. They're just about at that point of doneness that I like. So the chicken, the second batch is done as well. I'm going to go ahead and mix everything together. And then we're going to let this simmer together, everything, the vegetables and the chicken for the next 5 minutes just to get it all the way done. All right, guys, so now that everything's mixed together, put your lid on and let it cook for another 5 to 6 minutes. All right, guys, here is my done result. Don't this look good, guys? Go ahead and pair this along with your favorite tortilla wraps. I had some gluten-free ones for me and some flour ones for the family. And I did go ahead and use whatever toppings you want, guys. I sprinkled some cheese on top of mine, guys. So here you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. Share the video with your friends and family. And see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.